Oh,
Is this Ms. Gillum?
Yes,
You show up as your name on the WebEx as Ms. Gillum, and then the lady in caller user 1, what is your name?
Minnie Williams.
Okay, Ms. Williams. Ms. Davis will be with you shortly. Hang in there, okay?
Okay, thank
Don't
you.
hang up. Okay.
Okay.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Morning.
Ms. Williams is caller user number 1, Mr. Chairman, and I don't want her to hang up on. She's waiting
Okay.
to be for her docket. Thank you.
And you know which
I'm not-
docket she's on?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Do you know which docket she's on?
I will get that address for you. Just 1 second. Let me find it.
Sure.
Okay.
18322.
There
Okay,
you go. Thank you,
all
sir.
righty.
Did you say 18322, the docket?
Yes.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Tom. Are you on your phone or are you on your computer?
Computer.
Okay.
When we're done, Tom, I need to have a phone conference call with you and Telbin if I can after this.
Okay.
So just a regular phone call, you mean, or?
With Vanover, this is Patty. Just if we can have Captain Telbin and I need to talk with you, Tom, about scheduling something next week, about nothing on today.
Oh, okay.
So I'll just hang up after the meeting and you'll call my cell phone, or should I just hang on
I'm
after
sorry,
the meeting?
there's another Tom on there. I'm talking to the city's chief building official, Mr. Vanover. I apologize for the confusion.
I'm gonna shut up.
You're free to go, so I don't have to.
Okay.
No. I need him. Sorry.
Yeah, so Patty, I'm you can just call me on my cell phone.
Okay, thank you. And
Mr. Bradley, are you on the call? Miss Minnie Williams, is that you as a calling user?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay, 1 moment, please.
Okay. May I speak to Mrs. Bowman or Mrs. Wormley, please?
I'm sorry, you need to speak with who?
Mrs. Bowens, Mrs. Wormley,
Oh,
WAN. Yes.
Yeah, you don't have to, you're on now. You don't have to call her. I told you to call her if you needed assistance, but
Oh,
you're on.
assistance. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Carmela, this is Patty. I do not see Mr. Bradley in the participant box. And then Ms. Williams is the call-in user 1. Scrolling again. I do not see him.
Okay.
And he's our third, is that correct?
Right.
Give me 1 second, Patty. Happy Wednesday, everyone. I'm still waiting for one more board member to log
Okay.
in.
Okay.
He's having some technical issues right now.
Okay.
We will let you all know in about 5 more minutes what
Okay.
we plan to do before we proceed.
Okay. Thank you.
This should be okay. Start video. There you go.
Mr. Gallagher,
Yes.
you can go ahead with the preamble.
Okay, in compliance,
Bradley on speaker.
he's on. Okay, good. In compliance with notification requirements of Ohio's open meeting law and section 101.021 of the codified ordinances of Cleveland, Ohio, 1976, notice of this meeting has been publicly posted. All boards and commissions under the purview of the city planning department conducts its meetings according to Robert's Rules of Order. Actions during the meeting will be taken by voice vote. Abstentions from any vote due to a conflict of interest should be stated for the record prior to the taking of any vote. In order to ensure that everyone participating in the meeting has opportunity to be heard, we ask that you use the raise hand feature before asking a question or making a comment. The raise hand feature can be found in the participants panel on the desktop and mobile version and activated by clicking the hand icon. Please wait for the chair or facilitator to recognize you and be sure to select unmute and announce yourself before you speak. When finished speaking, please lower your hand by clicking on the raise hand icon again and mute your microphone. We will also be utilizing the chat feature to communicate with participants. The chat feature can be activated by clicking the chat button located on the bottom of the WebEx screen. Call-in users can unmute by using *6. All meeting activity is being recorded by way of the WebEx platform. These proceedings are also being live streamed by way of YouTube. All requests to speak on a particular matter by way of our website and email have been considered. We have also received emails from those who have provided written comment on a particular matter. Ms. Aston.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning. If we could verify live stream.
Yes, we're live streaming.
Thank you, Maurice. And Mr. Chairman, as we do since the beginning of the pandemic, the city does object to the use of the chat function because if we were all together in room 514, we would not be doing background chats, as well as if I would need the board to get the 3-member advisory, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll do the 3-member advisory. That's what we have online right now. We only have 3 board members, which means that if our decision is not unanimous, which it usually is, then your appeal goes back to the city. If for that reason you prefer not to have your case heard, then let me know when we call your case that you would like to reschedule your case. You want to call the roll, Ms. Davis?
Mr. Bradley? Here. Mr. Dink?
Here.
Mr. Gallagher?
Here. Okay, we'll call the first docket, A7922, 4429 Warner Road.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance issued on October 11th of 2021. Or is that 22? October 11th of 2022. Appeal statement received October 31st of 2022, requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Building and Housing. Patricia Aston, Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record.
J.D. France.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that, please?
J.D. France.
Is it current?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Is that your name, your last name, current?
France. F-R-A-N-C-E.
He's showing up as J.D. France Keller Williams on the panel, Mr. Chairman.
France. Well, he says
Correct.
it's F. Okay. All right. Mr. France, you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, if this is Patty, preliminarily, just to clarify, the authorization was for James Shepard and Keller Williams. If we could just have Mr. France verify he is with Keller Williams Shervenick Property Management for the record.
Correct. James Shepard is the director of the property management company.
So you have the right to speak on that behalf, right?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, go ahead and let us know what your plans are.
So we have completed, let me see what we have completed. I have invoices here of what we have completed from this. We have not done the exterior for the tuck work that was listed here. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. I had trouble joining. So what we have done here and what I have the invoices for are the following. I will pulling this up here. So we did the interior ceilings for unit 1, the exterior window trim repair, the interior floors and the interior doors. The exterior, the debris was removed. There was high grass and vegetation that was removed. The downspouts have been replaced. There was a lockbox placed on the basement door for the tenants, and they were given access to that code as well. The porch floor and the masonry guardrail system has also been repaired, as well as the soffit repairs. The other units that were repaired, the electrical panels in unit 2 and 4. All the wirings for units 2 and 4, the PEX plumbing was installed in unit 2, and all new drywall and ceiling and drywall and ceiling repair in unit 2. The items that still need to be repaired are the foundation tuck pointing, the stucco repair, and the exterior painting, which will be done when the weather permits.
You have CO and smoke detectors in place and operational?
Correct.
Okay. Mr. Vanover?
So, Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, has there been any re-inspection by the inspectors?
No.
Okay, because these are the photographs from the inspector from our update. Showing that
Is
there's
this
still,
as of recently?
excuse me?
And this was as of when?
This would have been taken late last week, middle of last week. I don't know,
Okay.
do they reflect the conditions of the property?
So there was still the exterior repairs that still need to be completed. As I stated, the tuck pointing for the foundation, that will probably be this unit, the bricks in the front. So that still needs to be completed, and the exterior painting as well as the stucco repair. All these need to be done when the weather permits.
So there was an electrical inspection that requires more attention. There's Romex connectors that are required, and hardwired smoke detectors are needed.
Hardwire smoke detectors.
Yeah, that's what the inspector. Were you there when the electrical inspector was there?
Was not.
Well, that's what his notes say. I don't know what his. I would speak to your electrician.
Okay, so not just battery operated smoke detectors. We need hardwire smoke detectors.
To the extent they can be installed, yes. So like through the attic or whatnot. So,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, what is the ask? What is the time frame?
Mr. France?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
How much time do you think you need to complete the
Just to
violation?
get the hardwire, I would say 30 days.
All right,
Is
and
that
that includes cleaning up all the garbage outside and correcting the exterior.
Correct. So, well, the exterior, I would say we would probably need, sometime when we get some better weather, so that these materials are allowed to, to be the adhesive materials that's needed for the stucco and the paint, as well as the tuck pointing, so that they can, that they won't deteriorate during the weather.
Well, Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, I'm not a weatherman, so I don't know when that's going to happen. However, I do know that this property should have never been allowed to get into this condition. The reason that it looks this way is from neglect. So there's been a lot of summers since
Well, can I say
property,
something?
and I know that you purchased it in the summer, correct?
Well, we just took over the property, and back in August of last year of 2022, and so we didn't get the violations weren't sent out until October. So we had just taken the management with the new owners.
So, Mr. Chairman, to Mr. France, I mean, when did you take over the management?
Of August of last year. So
Okay.
I'm gonna be sure about that. I'm sorry. Let me be correct about that. So,
Mr. Chairman, this is Patty. Given the testimony, the conditions clearly exist. We'd ask that you uphold the violation notice. He's given a time frame of 30 days, and then a vague, he doesn't know for the exterior. We would ask that you give that a very short timeline. It's been a mild winter, and if they took over management of this, even at the end of last summer, early fall, this could have been addressed prior to the city citing it. So we would ask that if the board is inclined to give further time, it'd be a very short timeline.
if I could say, at this owner, he has been, he has put over $30,000 into the repairs. He's willing to do the repairs. I think it's just been a matter of just the weather for the exterior. He's did everything on the interior that he's needed to do. He's put over $30,000 into the repair, so he's not being neglectful of it. We've been.
Mr. Chairman, he has not had any inspections on work that requires inspections. It's not that he is willing to do it. He is legally obligated. He or she, the owner, is legally obligated to make these corrections. Again, we ask that you give a very short timeline.
Okay, so we go back to Mr. Vanover. We could give him the 30 days to clean up the part of the interior and make sure that the hard wiring is done and all that kind of stuff. And then give him 30 more days to complete the outside work after that. So we'd be looking at an April 30th date to abate all the violations.
So April 30th?
Well, March 30th, 2023 to abate the interior and take care of the smoke detectors and whatnot. And then April 30th to take care of the outside work, which would be, the tuck pointing and the things that need to be done outside. So basically, everything should be done by April 30th, 2023.
Okay.
Motion is in order.
So moved.
Okay, motion by Mr. Dank, second by Mr. Bradley.
Mr. Bradley?
Yes.
Mr. Dink?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher?
Yes. Okay, you'll be notified within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next docket. A18022, 5010 Lorraine Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is exterior maintenance, issued on October 14th of 2022. Appeal was received October 25th of 2022, requesting time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Building and Housing, Patricia Aston Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record.
Yeah, hi, this is Drew Klassen.
Okay, Mr. Klassen, you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
So we're looking at the rear structure here behind the historic
hold up?
restoration that was recently completed 2 years ago, Sense Pizzeria.
Mr.
It's a
Klassen.
shared lot,
Sir,
and this is a structure that's both landlocked with no
He might
frontage.
not be able to
So
hear.
Here's a good view
Drew.
of this. You can go to
Mr.
that slide, please.
Klassen,
Next one.
Drew,
Can you hear us? Mr. Klassen, are you able to
You
hear
can go
us?
to the next slide, please.
All right, we got a problem here.
Drew, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, we can hear you, but you need to be able to hear us also. I need you to swear in to what you're stating here, okay? So
Yep.
Can you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead and proceed.
So again, we're looking at the rear structure on the same lot shared with the recently restored historic restoration that was completed here at Sense Pizzeria. This is a landlocked building with no frontage. And if you go to the next slide, please. We are actually looking to demolish this building. We sent that in a letter with our appeal. As you can see from this picture, overall, it's a structurally unsound building. This is a consensus amongst structural engineers that have visited this site, masonry contractors, several, as well as building inspectors. We met on site with Inspector Bill Bartley, who's also held the same opinion. So we, in our opinion, do not feel that this is warranting repairs. Rather, it should be demolished. As you can see, we have degradation throughout the masonry. On the bottom right is the most concerning area. This is a buckling wall, which we'll show a video in the following slides that will really illustrate just how far gone this is.
So, Mr. Chairman, so there is if I can interrupt, because this is not a landmarks hearing. That will be forthcoming. This is it appears that has been an application made to the department that is pending landmarks review. So we would, I mean, what is the ask? Because the board can't make the determination on whether or not you can take this property down or not, because they are not the Landmarks Commission. It looks like somebody's neglected this property for some time. So I would ask that, what is the ask from the appellate?
So, yeah, we inherited the building in this condition, and I had a phone call with Kevin Franklin, the bureau chief, and he advised that a member of Landmarks would be present in this hearing. I
Yeah.
understand that may not be the case, though.
No, Mr. Brudges is present
Okay.
for the
So
hearing.
yes, he advised us that it would be possible to get demolition approval through Landmarks in this hearing. If that's not the case, that's new to me, but that is our ask.
Oh, so then, if that, I find that surprising. Kevin Franklin works directly for me.
Mhm.
But in order to get more time while it's going through the Landmarks, their formal process, this would
Okay.
be the board to do that. However, this board does not have the authority to grant Landmarks approval.
I
Yeah, Mr.
understand.
Chairman, this is Patty. That's absolutely correct. The violation notice does state it's an unsafe structure. The conditions are being shown to you. We would ask you to uphold this notice as properly issued. But as Mr. Vanover stated, this board does not have Landmarks review. That is under a separate code chapter 161 or whatever. I agree with Mr. Vanover. You do not have a right to give Landmarks approval. You have within your authority and the building and housing codes approval and your charter authority. Thank you.
Well, that being said, Mr. Brudges is here and he did have his hand up. So if he has a comment to make, but ultimately it appears that the ask is for more time. The testimony already has not disputed the violation notice or the condition of the building. So we would just ask, after hearing from Mr. Brudges, what is the, how much time are you looking for?
Okay, well, we'll ask that question. Let's hear from Mr. Brudges. Is that it?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. There is a pending building permit application since December 8th. Staff has contacted the applicant or the person who pulled the permit on December 9th of 2022 and an email on January 18th of 2023 to get them to go through our process because it has to go through design review and to the Landmarks Commission for the issuance of a certificate of appropriateness. We have yet to hear back to get that scheduled.
Okay. Okay, so I'm kind of wondering out loud here, should we reschedule this? I mean, we can find that, definitely the violations are there. There's no question about that. But without getting a clear indication here on whether they can tear this down or whether it's going to have to be redone somehow, we really need to, I think, wait on until we hear from
Mr.
Landmarks.
Chairman, this is Patty, if I may, Mr. Chairman, to the chair and the board. That's actually apples and paper clips, as a colleague of mine would say, because any landmark decision would go through the BOZA process on appeal. Or city planning, that has its own process. This board has the authority. We would ask that you uphold the notice, and you can grant specific relief of time. And if the appellant is having difficulty or needs additional time, they can always come back to this board. But leaving this docket pending with this board, if something would happen and Mr. Vanover needed to take action, he would be still stayed under your appeal.
Okay. I'm not sure how long these things generally take, but we can.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Vanover.
If I may, we would not object to 30 days. I'm sorry, let me back up. A total of 90 days to abate the nuisance with a requirement that within 30 days it's scheduled and they work to get on the land through the landmark process. As long as they're going through the landmark review process, we don't object to more time, providing it doesn't become more hazardous, which that's a different action altogether. but if they're looking for more time, we don't object as long as they're actually actively moving through what they need to do to abate the nuisance.
Okay, that's very good. Thank you, Mr. Vanover. So we will allow motion for to March 30th, 30 days, 2023, to make sure that they're in the process with the Landmarks Commission, and a total of 90 days, which would be May 30th, 2023, to abate the nuisance. Motion so in order.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Dink, second by Mr. Bradley.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent within 2 weeks. Thank you. Okay, next docket. A 18122, 1258 East 169th Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is exterior maintenance. Issued on October 13th of 2022. Appeal received November 2nd of 2022, requesting time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Building and Housing. Patricia Aston Law. Is the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record.
I'm Mr. Barbo.
Hey, Mr. Barbo, do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and proceed. Let us know what your plans are.
I had all the violations fixed, so I don't need to postpone it any longer.
Video.
Okay, Mr. Vanover.
Bear with me. Can you provide me the address again, Mr.
Yes.
Chairman?
1258 East 169th Street.
Mr. Chairman, this appellant did also email me some other pictures early yesterday morning with the light fixtures already installed on the porch. In the video that he sent me, the light fixtures were not there, but I do have them in the file. He submitted it beyond the time frame for more stuff to be added to the PowerPoint presentation.
Okay, thank you.
Well, Carmela, this is Patty. You're saying that you got supplemental documentation to show that the light fixtures were installed in the board's file?
Correct. I can forward those pictures to you all for your files as well.
That would be if Mr. Vanover needs to see those. Thank you.
Bear with me while I pull it up. So, Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, has this been, it doesn't appear it's been re-inspected. Has this been re-inspected by Inspector McClure?
Mr. Barbo?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't gotten any notice either way.
Okay, so Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, it's your responsibility. If you are complete, then reach out to the inspector, because the notice of violation is still open and will remain open until such time as it gets re-inspected and closed. Mr. Chairman, it appears the ask is for no more time. We do not object.
Well, I think that you're going to have the reinspection. I think that we might want to give him 2 weeks to make sure that he gets them in and get a report back from the inspector that it is complete and it is done. So we give to March 15th, 2023 to close out all violations. Motion's in order.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Dank.
Mr. Bradley, you still there?
Yes.
They need you to say the motion.
So moved.
Okay. Motion by Mr. Dank, second by Mr. Bradley.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you, guys and girls.
Okay, next docket, A 18222, 3713 East 154th Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance. Issued October 4th of 2022. Appeal statement received October 31st of 2022, requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Building and Housing, Patricia Aston Law. Would the appellant or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record?
Say your name, Ma. Say your name.
Oh, Eugenia L. Creighton?
Did you all hear her?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, we accept that. Thank you.
Okay, solemnly swear to tell the whole truth, so help
Raise
you
your right
God.
hand, Ma.
Did we catch that? You solemnly swear to tell the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and proceed and let us know what your plans are.
Tell them what your plans are. Ma.
What?
Tell me
Mr.
what
Chairman,
your
to
plans
the
are.
appellant, if the daughter wants to, I believe it's the daughter that's also present. She can speak on her mother's behalf if she so swears as well. We don't object to that.
Okay, go ahead and proceed.
The plans are to give us more time to finish the work.
How much more time do you need?
Let me tell you. She asked for a year from the date of the violations till October the 4th, 2023.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a little longer than what we would give.
Yeah, sir, the exterior, you would have to wait until the summertime to do the exterior because of the weather. So that's why we need at least a year. The interior probably can be completed, but the exterior, you need a summer work in order to do all that pointing or whatever you have to do in painting.
Okay.
So if we would need at least, I would say, a year. And I know that most people, like this year, the inspector has said something about we need paint in September. So I said, you can't do it in September. We couldn't have it bad. We can't have paint outside in bad weather. You know that.
Mr. Chairman.
But now the interior.
Yeah, we're going to get to you, Mr. Vanover. Go ahead. Finish up.
Mr. Chairman and Ms. Grayton, do you live in this home?
No, I rent it.
Do you rent it? And this is a 2-family home?
Yeah, it's 2 family, but there's only 1 family living there. There's
Mr.
nobody
Chairman,
living.
I mean, we don't object to 6 months, but a year is longer than there's not that would be until August.
That would be August.
Yeah. So 6 months. If you have to have more time, you can come back, but that's about what we're willing to give. It should be able to complete it because you'll go through the summer, which is what you need.
That's only about 3 months left. August, September, October. So that's short 2 months from what you asked for.
Okay. Well, August
Yeah.
would be a good time. I think we have good weather.
Okay.
Hopefully. Yeah, that's
All right.
the area.
Okay, so motion is in order to have the violations taken care of by August 30th, 2023. Motion in order?
So moved.
Okay, motion by Mr. Bradley, second by Mr. Dank.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much. You'll be notified within 2 weeks.
Okay, can we exit the meeting now?
Yes, you can.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, next docket, A, 18322, 477 East 148th Street.
I want to see this.
Yes.
1 minute, Miss Minnie.
Okay.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance, issued October 4th of 2022. Appeal received November 2nd of 2022. Appellant is requesting more time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Building and Housing. Patricia Ashton, Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record.
Minnie Williams.
Okay, Ms. Williams, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead and proceed. Let us know what your plans are.
My plans are to go ahead with completing the painting in the hallway, in the back hallway, putting up a handrail, and painting the basement. And after that, we would have to wait until summer comes in to do the outside front porch. That's all that needs to be done. Yes.
Okay. So how much more time do you think you need?
Till about July of 2023.
Okay, Mr. Vanover?
Mr. Chairman, to Ms. Winnie, do you live in this home?
No.
This is a rental?
Yes, it is.
Is it currently, is the rental registration current? Because I'm not showing that you've got this registered as a rental.
The rental registration, I usually pay mine in March. I just received them the end of April, and I'll be getting them back to them in March. I mean this month, yeah.
Is this a double?
It is, yes.
What is the other address?
479 East 148th Street. It's upstairs. I mean, both suites can use 477 up and down, yes.
All right, bear with me one moment. I'm just verifying that there's a rental registration number.
It should be. I
Yeah,
pay up, what, 140 for both suites, yes.
It's from 2016.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Chairman, we don't object to July.
Okay. So a motion is in order to give till the end of June, which should take us to June 30th, 2023.
Okay.
To abate all the violations.
Okay.
Motion so in order. So moved. Okay, motion by Mr. Denk, second by Mr. Bradley.
Mr. Bradley?
Yes.
Mr. Dink?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher?
Yes. Okay, you will be notified within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I can leave now?
You sure can, yes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, docket A 18422 3173 West 138th Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is no permit. Issued on October 5th of 2022. Appeal received November 1st of 2022, requesting for time to abate the violation. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Building and Housing. Patricia Ashton, Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record.
John DePasquale.
Okay, Mr. DePasquale, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, go ahead and proceed and let us know what your plans are.
So this is a kind of an odd situation here. So I was told by the inspector to go through this process. I have a neighbor that's a problem that is putting video cameras that are not per code way up in the sky. He had drilled a 25 to 30 foot pipe through his garage. I have several police reports and citations that are pending on him, basically to remove them. So I built a garden wall on my fence. The fence has been there for years. The permit was a long time ago for the fence. The extension was not. And I had shared police reports, photos. He's videotaping the inside of my home, which there's a video on the right there where the gentleman's laying on his belly with a camera videotaping into the home. So I just put a short extension on the fence to block this activity. I mean, I don't know what else to do. I know this is an odd situation for you guys. I'm in construction. It's built well, and it's posted in the ground with concrete, and it's just a short garden extension. So you guys let me know what you want me to do. I know it's very awkward. I apologize.
Yeah. All right, I'll take it over to Mr. Vanover. I mean, I would do shades or something on that side of the house so that he can't see.
There are shades, but if you could.
Mr. Chairman, unfortunately, and I'm aware of the situation, unfortunately, I mean, it's an 8-foot fence that there's still not a permit for, and there was never an application made for a permit, and it needs to come down and a permit applied for. It's got to go through the process. I mean, I wish I could solve the neighbor problem, but I can't. I cannot do that. But the reality, I know that the neighbor's been cited as well for what they've done. But the reality is it's an 8-foot fence that there's no permit for, and it's unlawful. It needs to be removed, and a permit application needs to be made, and to see if it can get approved. I know that typically 8-foot fences are not allowed in residential areas, but there's an appeal process to all of that too. So we would ask for no more time to be granted, and for it to be remanded back to the Department of Building and Housing. Our expectation is that it is being in construction, you're aware that permits are required. So
Sure.
we would ask that you remand it back to us, that it be removed until proper permitting is in place.
I'll apply for the permit for the 8-foot because it doesn't seem like this problem's going away. That's no problem. As far as removal, I'll have construction guys or our guys look at it, but I'm going to need some time. The ground's soaking wet and our schedule is busy. So,
well, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, when did you put it up?
When did I put the fence up?
Yeah, when was this extension put on it?
I mean, it was put up right around the date of when the inspector came. I don't know. It was back in.
So that was October.
Yeah, it was October.
Mr. Chairman, the ground was wet in October. So our position is that we would ask for no more time for it to be denied and remanded back to the department.
Okay, Mr. DePasquale.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it doesn't seem to me that an 8-foot fence is going to solve the issue, because this guy seems to be, going up into the air way beyond where you could put a wall up even to.
That's not necessarily true, because if you've seen pictures behind the extension, he has cameras all through there. He's gleaming LED lights into the windows at night. The police are tired of coming out here. I'm working with Tammy, the community person in Casey's district, to speak with the mother and a median about this. But he's got invasion of privacy. He's got voyeurism charges on him. If I take these down anytime soon, nothing's going to change on my end. It's a security issue for my family. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I understand, but this board is not able to resolve that issue, and then that's a policing issue that you are working on. I get that, and but the problem that we have is that the fence was put up without a permit, and so I'm inclined to agree with Mr. Vanover that we just go ahead and not give any more time, but remand this back to the Division of Building and Housing for further action on it. And then you're just gonna have to deal with it and take it down and get the permits. So.
Okay, and what's my
motion-
time? What's my time period before I hear on that so I can respond to them?
Well, you'd have to do it. It's gonna be 2 weeks before, the issue comes out, but the fact is, you're gonna have to do something. So, you're just gonna have to get moving on it. Motion is in order to deny more time, remand the property to the Division of Building and Housing for any further action. Motion?
Move.
Okay, motion by, Mr. Bradley,
Second.
second by Mr. Dank.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, you'll be given notice within 2 weeks. Thank you. Next docket, 18522, 3039 West 114th Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance, issued on October 14th of 2022. Appeal statement received November 2nd of 2022, requesting time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Building and Housing, Patricia Aston Law. Would the appellant or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record?
Yeah, my name is Shiva Sairam Jangala.
Okay, Mr. Jangala, do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, go ahead and proceed.
Yeah. So prior to talking about this, can I give a quick background about this property? So I got this property like in October 2021 as an investment property. And this was rented to a tenant. There was a rental agreement. And the property management company was maintaining this property. And 6 months down the line, I got to know like property management is a fraud because they were collecting rent from the tenant, but they never paid me like close to $6,000. And after that, they stopped answering my calls. And I was in a situation that I'm living outside of Cleveland and the property is there. So I sent so many letters directly to the owner, to the renter, saying that I'm the owner of this property and I'm going to take it forward. I'm still dealing with the property management company. I'm working with the lawyers. That guy name is Bryce Keys from Great Lake Capital Solutions. I'm still fighting to get the $6,000 from the money that he collected from the tenant. So I took over this property around like May or June of 2022. And I talked to the tenant stating that the property needs to be maintained well and any issues I should be aware of. And until I got this violations notice in October, I didn't know that the property was maintained this bad by the tenant. So I asked her like, see, because you're the tenant, it's your responsibility to make sure the property is well maintained. And she was kind of reluctant to do that. And at the same time, I had to travel to India because my mom was not feeling well. And she sent me a message saying she's vacating the property. Around like mid-December, I told her like the property needs to be vacated because she was not maintaining well and she was not ready to make any changes or not ready to pay money to fix the property. So I came back around like first week of Jan back to US. And I started working with the contractor. I paid close to $3,000 to the contractor. And because of, maybe the things came together because of the cold weather, in addition to the violations, some of the pipes were broken. And my contractor, when he went in, he was like, I cannot do it until the pipes are fixed. So first I had to address the pipes issue. And then I was told that there is no heat to do anything inside the property, and it's so cold, so they couldn't do anything inside until the heating system is fixed. So I'm working with the heating company to fix that currently. I'm talking to some of the guys to get quotes to fix it. And at the same time, I'm working with this guy, the contractor, at least to clean the exteriors, because I was told by the neighbors that the property was not maintained well. So at least if I can have the exterior cleaned up and well maintained, it will keep the neighbors at least in a better situation, and slowly I'll start getting into the interiors. So the exteriors I've already cleaned up a couple of times by getting some dumpsters and paying contractor to clean all the exteriors a couple of times. And if you see the pictures, the tenant, when she left all sorts of trash in the property. I mean, she didn't take any of her belongings. So that left ownership on me to again spend some extra money to clean all these. And I'm still working through the contractor to clean. And I definitely need at least a couple of months to make sure that this is completely resolved.
Okay, so there's no one living in the property now, correct?
Now, the property is vacant currently, and I don't want anybody until this is completely fixed and violations are resolved.
Okay, how much time do you think you need to take care of this?
At least 2 months, Chairman, sir.
Okay, 2 months to complete all the violations?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Vanover.
So, Mr. Chairman, we would ask that you deny more time and remand it back to the Department of Building and Housing. I don't know what the requirements are in Fremont, California, but in the city of Cleveland, the owner is responsible for maintaining the property, not the tenant. There's many things you can see that were in place when this property was purchased. There's tuck pointing, there's rotted wood, there's rotted porches. All of these things influence the price. So if it's the tenant or the neighbors, the fact that the neighbors have to reach out to the owner and tell them the condition of his property is an indication that this owner is not at the property looking things over or properly managing the property. It's not the responsibility of the neighbors or even the tenant. There's supposed to be proper management. And I understand that he had a management company in place, but this is the cost of doing business. And we would ask that you remand it back to us. This is completely an investment property that is attempting to be managed from across the country.
Yeah, right now, just to give you an update, sir, I moved from Fremont to North Carolina now. So I live in North Carolina right now. So that's a change that has happened mid of last year.
Okay, that's still a ways away.
Yes, sir.
And it doesn't mean that you can't repair your property. Okay, it just means that you're going to have to stay on top of it and make sure that it's taken care of. And so by remanding it back to the city, they want you to repair your property. Okay, but you're going to have to do what you say you're going to do. And if you're doing it within 60 days, then there's no problem, because you're going to go ahead and you're going to fix it. So a motion is in order to deny more time and to remand the property back to the Division of Building and Housing for any further action. Motion?
So moved.
Okay, motion by Mr. Denk, second by Mr. Bradley.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, you'll be notified within 2 weeks.
So, sir, just a question. So I'm not getting more time to fix it?
Well, we're not giving you any time to fix the property at this point. It's going to be underneath the supervision of Building and Housing, but they want you to fix it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And so you just go ahead and carry on and fix the property. That's what they want done.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
So you just move forward, and if you do like you say you're going to do, no problem. They're just not sure, with you're not being around and maybe understanding that you are responsible, that's going to get done, but you can prove them wrong by doing it.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Definitely. I will do that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, we're on docket A 18722, 2260 Thurman Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is no permit and stop work order. issued on October 31st of 2022. Appeal statement received November 9th of 2022, requesting time to abate the violation. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Building and Housing. Patricia Aston, Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record.
My name is Tony Coyne. I'm land use counsel to Dante Bacuza, who is sitting with me. He is the property owner.
Okay, if you're both going to be giving testimony or just Mr. Coyne, then solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God.
We do.
Okay, go ahead and let us know what the plans are.
Okay, this is an unfortunate circumstance. Mr. Bacuzzi, who you know as Dante, who owns Dante's Restaurant, and frankly owns about half a dozen properties in this part of Tremont. He also resides there. He had a contractor who proceeded to put up a garage and did not get us for the garage, and a significant amount of construction was undertaken. The problems were no permits, and also variances were required because of the side yard setback zoning issues. So Mr. Bacuzzi contacted us, and we obviously wanted him to rectify everything as soon as possible. We had him apply to the Board of Zoning Appeals, and he received his variances on January 23rd, 2022. He submitted the requisite plans for that. There's also an easement, a maintenance easement that's been completed, that we were asked to have completed by the next door property owner, which actually is an entity that he owns as well. He then had applied for and received on Friday, the 24th of February, a building permit to complete all of the work. So, you know, in our view, and Dante's invested an awful lot of money in this part of Tremont. You know, we apologize for what occurred. We believe there's no necessary further action that needs to be taking place. We'd ask the board to either find that the matter is resolved or to simply give us approximately, I think it would be best to ask for a 60-day continuance because of their doors and materials that are on order. And since he has a new contractor finishing this off, the contractor's schedule might be a bit of a challenge, but we believe comfortably we can complete it for sure in 60 days. 30 days would be close, so we just don't want to inconvenience the board or anything else.
So the permits are now in place?
Yes, yeah, we have the permits.
Okay, Mr. Van.
That was my question. Thank you.
Bear with me one second. Mr. Chairman, there is a permit for the garage in place. We would ask if you're going to grant time up until today's hearing. At this point, the violation, the permit has been issued to satisfy the violation notice. However, it is still incumbent upon the owner to contact the inspector to close the notice of violation. So the permits are in place, so the violation no longer exists, but we just need a follow-up inspection. So we don't object to granting more time until today, but at this point, there's no violation on site.
Okay, so we'll give till March 1st to abate the violation, to close it out or abate it. And motion is in order to do that.
So moved.
Okay, motion by Mr. Dank, second by Mr. Bradley.
Mr. Bradley?
Yes.
Mr. Dink?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher?
Yes. Okay, so Mr. Coyne, I think that's all you have to do is get the inspector in there to get this closed out, and you're proceeding. You're able to proceed now because you do have the permit.
Thank you, Chairman Gallagher.
Okay, we're all set. The notice will be sent out in 2 weeks. Okay, so next docket.
Thank you.
is an adjudication order A 19722-2439 Tremont Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation. This is an adjudication order to OBC B16024202, issued on November 1st of 2022, appealed on December 1st of 2022, requesting for time to abate the violation. Mr. Chairman, we originally heard this docket on December 2nd of 2022. It was rescheduled to January 18th of 2023. It was then rescheduled again to February 1st of 2023. This board has reached out to Mr. Bickerstaff on behalf of rescheduling. We have not heard anything back, whether he wants to withdraw or continue with the board's notice to be heard. So he is rescheduled again today for March 1st of 2023. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Building and Housing, Patricia Aston Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record.
Dan Bickerstaff, architect with Ubiquitous Design.
Okay, Mr. Bickerstaff, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Okay,
Mr.
go
Chairman,
ahead.
this is Patty. Preliminarily, before Mr. Bickerstaff goes, fire was online, and Mr. Vanover, there was an email to both of us from Captain Talbin, who got called away on a 222 alarm. So I wanted to make sure Mr. Vanover saw that.
I did.
Email. Thank you.
I did. So, Mr. Chairman, if I may, I'd like to speak first on this matter.
You can, sure, go ahead, Mr.
It is my understanding that Mr. Bickerstaff and his client expect to resubmit design documents to the Department of Building and Housing that will ultimately reclassify the construction on this property and no longer, this adjudication order will no longer be valid due to the redesign. Basically, you're all familiar, the way that this property is constructed, it is constructed as two buildings that are connected. And as such, it can be reviewed and approved as a two-family home, or I'm sorry, as a three-family home that is connected by a firewall, a compliant firewall, to a single-family home. And therefore, the requirement cited in the adjudication order is no longer necessary. Mr. Bickerstaff, is my understanding correct that that is your expectation?
That is correct, and we have resubmitted the drawings to that effect.
Okay, is there any time necessary, Mr. Vanover?
Let me think.
This is Patty. Mr. Bickerstaff, do you anticipate you might need to come back to the board on anything, even if it is some sort of variance?
No, I do not.
No. So, Mr. Chairman, I would ask that that you hold this docket open.
Yeah, if Mr. Bickerstaff doesn't object to that, there's no problem with that. I agree.
Patty, if I may, because the expectation would be either that we withdraw the adjudication order on this property and issue an approval under the new plan submitted, or an additional adjudication order would be issued on the new plans, and that would grant the right to appeal under that adjudication order.
Okay, so
my expectation is that once I get through the plan review, most likely by the end of the next day or so, that we will be withdrawing the adjudication order and therefore nothing to appeal.
okay, so we don't really need to take any action?
No, I would ask that you keep it open and you will have a communication from me one way or another before the next hearing.
Okay, so that's what we'll do. We'll keep this docket open. I guess we can, if we need to take a motion upon that to continue it or keep it open, that's the right language for this, then we'll move to keep the docket open. Motion is in order.
So moved.
Okay, motion by Mr. Dank,
Second.
second by Mr. Bradley.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes, okay.
And then
So
Mr. Bickerstaff, so once that is completed, if once we approve the resubmitted documents, I will submit a letter of withdrawal to the board, and to you as well. It'll actually be written to you, withdrawing the adjudication order issued. And then I will also send a copy to the board, so that I don't know, and Patty, you may know this, he doesn't have to withdraw his appeal at that point because the adjudication order would no longer be valid, correct?
I mean, he would, it's their appeal. So,
An appeal on an order that doesn't exist?
well, it existed at the time. And
Okay,
he's
then
responding to that adjudication order technically under the OBC with adjusted plans. So it would be, we can't withdraw an appeal that they
Right.
made.
So once you get that, Dan, you would then just send a letter withdrawing your appeal.
Right, not a problem.
All
Okay,
right,
thank you.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I think that ends the dockets. So we have approval of resolutions. A 1/2022 Central Christian Church. Let's see, A 16722, A 16822, 16922, 17022, 17122, 17222, 17322, 17422, 17522, 17622. Motion?
Move for approval of the resolution.
Okay, motion by Mr. Dank, second by Mr. Bradley.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, we'll have the approval of minutes. Are there any additions for February 15, 2023? Are there any additions or corrections?
No.
Motion to approve?
So move.
Okay,
Second.
motion by Mr. Bradley, second by Mr. Dank.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Is there anything else to come before us?
No.
Okay, we will now adjourn. Thank you.
I have one question though.
Okay,
Still have this.
we can turn off the